Well, we're in the thick of a fascinating Easter programme live here on Sky Sports. Another match to come this Good Friday, Wigan Saints. Easter Monday, Warrington Castleford, 2:40 Monday afternoon, Sky Sports 1. Monday evening, 5 minutes to 5 on Sky Sports 2, the Catalan Dragons and Widnes. Catalan returning home after their win at Wakefield yesterday. Widnes buoyed by the victory over the Warrington Wolves. Sky Sports 2 for that. Well, this is the scene at the Menderhose jungle home of the Castleford Tigers, the 2014 Team of the Year in many respects. Castleford, they had the Man of Steel, they had the Coach of the Year in Darryl Powell, but they're trailing at half-time to the Leeds Rhinos by 16 points to 6. Let's get back to West Yorkshire and we will rejoin Barry, Terry and Bill Arthur.
Yes, they also had the Challenge Cup final and they lost that to the Leeds Rhinos, so they're looking to avenge last year's 10 points to 23 defeat at Wembley, but at the moment they trail by 16 points to 6. To the most part, a controlled performance from the Leeds Rhinos, giving them the edge in this game, although in some of the half-time stats the Tigers have had the edge on the Rhinos. Darryl Powell will take some comfort from that as his team looks to turn this round. Powell seeking his first coaching win against the Rhinos. 4 previous attempts against Brian McDermott's side have brought him 3 defeats and a 24-all draw last season. Well, this game's certainly not beyond the Tigers yet, but they need a good start to this second half to shake Leeds' control. Hardacre underneath that kick.
You're right, Bill, they do need a good start, and the rain's just started to come down. I'm not sure it will change the way either of these sides play. And the stats that you talk about, the completion rate from both was very good. 80% for Castleford, 89% for Leeds Rhinos with the ball. Where Leeds Rhinos were superior was they made 820 metres compared to Castleford's 490. So with the ball, they're making metres.
Paul Ayton. Here's Mitch Church as Maguire puts a good kick in, turning James Clare around. Opportunity to get some half-time news. Angela Powers on the sidelines today.
Talking to Brian McDermott at the half-time break, he's expecting their team to really have to come out and confront a confrontation, if you like, because they're expecting the Castleford side to really throw everything at them. From the Castleford point of view, they are not starting to play their game yet, says their coach Darryl Powell. He's thinking that what they really need to do is tidy up in every area and win the energy battle. In terms of the injury news, we did have Carl Ablett, who came off about 20 minutes in. It turns out he had a cut to his hand. It's been strapped up and they're expecting him to go back on and play again this afternoon, this second half. They're not expecting it to be anything that will keep him out. And Jake Webster for Castleford, he suffered a concussion, almost last tackle of the first half. He spent the 50 minutes that they have to spend sort of on one side before he went back on. He's now substituted, but he is expected back on in the second half.
Thanks, Ange. As Hardacre brings that ball back for the Leeds Rhinos. Maguire, here's Ryan Hall. One of the try scorers in that first 40 minutes for this Leeds team, who are looking to put a bit of distance between themselves and St Helens ahead of that game between Wigan and Saints coming up next here on Sky Sports. Peacock, Maguire, Sutcliffe. Very confident player, Liam Sutcliffe, for somebody as comparatively inexperienced, especially in this company.
Well, it'd be comforting for him to have somebody like Danny Maguire at the side. Typically the half-backs now, one will go on the right, one will go on the left. Danny Maguire looking after that kicking game and taking that responsibility, leaving Liam Sutcliffe to focus and concentrate on what he does best.
The kick dealt with by the Castleford Tigers, and here is Ashley Gibson.
But I think what you get with youngsters who play rugby league is they don't fear making a mistake. They just get back up, dust themselves down and just try and play the same play again. That's what all good players make mistakes. It's how you
great
respond.
work from Lynch. What wonderful footwork from Andy Lynch. He's got support from Milner. Gives him the pass, but the cover is there just to bring the hooker down. But Leeds defence in some disarray here. Still an opportunity for Shenton if he can get free.
Should have gone.
A great defence in the end. It was Sutcliffe.
It should
Still
have gone
wet behind the ears, but what defence that was.
Well, Michael Shenton has a 2-on-1. All he has to do He's released Justin Carney. What a fantastic break by the 35-year-old. Andy Lynch sets up this field position. Great work from Liam Sutcliffe. Look at this handoff. He has a decision to make. He makes the right decision. Possibly could have gone a little bit earlier. They banged that field position, and unfortunately for Cass, Michael Shenton, in my opinion, takes the wrong decision.
But the recognition from Liam Finn to attack the same side where Callum Watkins should have been defending, and you're quite right, maybe an opportunity that they should have scored a try. But that's Leeds Rhinos. They get back in numbers to prevent the crossing the try line.
What a let-off that is for Leeds, because the Castleford Tigers had the opportunity there to post some points early on in this second half, inside the first 5 minutes of the second 40. Leeds somehow, well, thanks to Sutcliffe's intervention, managed to keep the Tigers out. That's encouragement, though, as Jamie Peacock is driven to the ground. Paul Ayton puts the kick in. 22nd consecutive appearance from the Leeds hooker, Justin Carney. The crowd see him with the ball in his hands and urges him to take on the Rhinos defenders.
Well, he was looking along the Leeds line, thinking, which one am I going to pick out, which one I'm going to run at? And I think all the Leeds players were saying, why don't you run at him? Run at him, pick him out.
Well, they dealt with him, as they dealt with Shenton there. Here's Oliver Holmes now.
That's why I always enjoyed playing with you, Tez.
Lynch, Gale. Luke Dawn is having a quiet afternoon, but slipping there. Dawn, who's just agreed a one-year extension with the Tigers, will be here next season. Gibson, tackled by Joel Moon. On the last, and Gale hoists this kick. Hardacre had time underneath that one, looks up, there's the chasers.
Well, they're not making enough meters with the ball, so when that ball does go up, they can't get the players down there to challenge for that ball. Probably they need to just work a bit harder and trying to get up the field. Just don't get carried away, don't try and force the ball, just do the little things. And it might take 10 minutes, it might take 20 minutes in this second half, but they'll get the time and they'll have those chances.
Handley plays the ball. Here is Singleton. Just inside his own half as he plays that ball. Brett Delaney now. Maguire. Short pass from Maguire finds A-Church, and A-Church somehow gets that pass away. He was heading towards the ground. Sutcliffe trying to make some more yards, reversing towards that Castleford Tigers line. On the last, and it's Watkins. Not sure he was expecting that, but he gets a good crossfield kick in the end. Well, better than expected maybe, but Clare picks up pace as he returns the ball.
Leeds had that tactic in the first half, kicking to James Clare, so that on play 2 it's Luke Dawn, and on play 3, by the time everybody's got set defensively, it could possibly be the big fella Justin Carney.
Off Watkins on Wheeldon, but the ball went backwards, says the referee.
That's one of those passes that was never on.
Here is Wheeldon again. Former Hull and Hull Kingston Rovers man Scott Wheeldon. That ball went backwards, says the referee. He'll know how those two sides are feeling today. Rovers jubilant after winning the Derby match. Hull FC licking their wounds. And a tough Easter for Hull, of course. As Finn hoists that kick. Hanley's again under it. This time Carney can't close him down.
Maybe not trying to get as much distance on the kicks, but just try and give yourself, maybe if it's 20 metres in front of you, so it gives you your chasers, your onside chasers, time to get there.
I think it's still 3 penalties apiece in this game. Oh, there we go, there's another one. Whoa,
Phil. The referee is tuned into you.
3-2, in fact.
Well, Luke Gale will be disappointed with his effort on that occasion. Just stood in front of the referee. He doesn't get back, and again, you can't give meters away to the Rhinos. You're inviting them into your half now.
Adam Cuthbertson. Again, manages to turn and get that pass away and keep Leeds on the roll. Stevie Ward out wide to Hanley. Hanley skips infield. Carney makes the tackle on his opposite number. Here is Peacock. Peacock to the line. Maguire, Cuthbertson! The referee having a good look at that. Has Adam Cuthbertson got that ball down? Let's see.
It's worth a look, Bill.
We've got no try.
It's worth a look.
It's held up.
Ben Thaler saying
sure
no try in his view. He's looking at obstruction.
Well, check the grounding as well, because when Luke Dorney gets underneath him.
I don't think there's an obstruction. Peacock takes it to the line. That's a read, I think, from Scott Wheeldon. Scott Wheeldon decides he's going to make that call. Danny Maguire threads Cuthbertson through the line. Luke Dorn does everything he can.
Does he get that down, Baz?
Well, I think if he had his time again, Cuthbertson had put it in his left hand. But if he hasn't scored it, that's an exceptional play from Luke Dorn. The Tigers fans like it.
Yeah, this is a brilliant effort from Luke Dorn here. The ball's not down there. I can't see the ball grounded. Luke Dorn is grabbing hold of that ball. Look, you can see it on his chest.
I think you're right, Tez. I think you're right. Fantastic work from the fullback.
It is, because no try is the decision, and Luke Dorn denies the Rhinos a 4-pointer.
Well, Luke Dorn, he tops the charts for overseas players in Super League. He scored he scored the same amount of tries, should I say, as Pat Richards, but he's just saved a 4-pointer there. Excellent work from him.
147 tries, that's what he's known for. But that was try defending, and Carney has picked up the loose ball. Maguire is trying to get a hold of it. He can't. Hanley is chasing him, and Hanley collars him and eventually stops his progress. And Milner was furious. Where was the pass, he was saying? They're not gone away yet. Here's Dawn, and he's lost the ball. What a chance, gone begging for the Castleford Tigers. Milner was there. Carney couldn't get the pass to him. And take your hat off to Ash Hanley. The youngster came back and made the tackle to deny Carney. And then the Castleford Tigers blew the opportunity.
Well, he stood up to every challenge in this game, Ash Hanley. And when Justin Carney gets this ball, he's having a little look at Danny Maguire. He gets rid of Danny Maguire and he thinks he's done all the hard work. He doesn't look over his left shoulder, and that ball should have gone. If that ball goes to Milner, it's a try.
Absolutely, Tez. He doesn't commit himself, Ash Hanley, until it's absolutely necessary. He's getting trampled all over. And what's going through Justin Carney's head is, I'm bigger than you, so I'm going to run over the top of you. And Joel Moon manages to get the ball back. Well, that's a game changer. That's an energy lifter.
It looked as though he was hanging on to a rampaging wildebeest there. He got the tail of a wildebeest and was clinging onto it as it disappeared.
Well, I've been very impressed with him. And the game is about chances. When you play in Super League and you play against some of the best sides, you don't get that many chances to score a try. And that was definitely a wasted 6 points.
Milner was on.
He's there. Pass the ball. Pass the ball. Don't even think about it. There's someone next to you. Here we go.
And here goes Hardacre. They're going to pay the price for this. But no, that's great cover. And guess who it is? It's Justin Carney with the tackle. What a game we've got here. Ward back in field. Watkins is tackled. Oh, just hold on to your seats. This is going to be some second half. 16-6, the Rhinos lead. Maguire just shy of that Castleford Tigers line. Plays the ball. Cuthbertson denied a try a few moments ago. Delaney puts the kick in. And Dawn diffuses the situation.
Well, Luke Dorney gets this ball back, and here's another try-scoring opportunity. Zach Hardacre, Justin Carney.
Well, Casa straight back on the attack.
It's about speed, isn't it?
It's like a game of tennis, this. You have a go, we'll have a go.
Here's Scott Wheeldon, bringing a bit more sort of a measured approach to it, Wheeldon. McDermott. Whoa! It's Darryl Powell who will be grimacing now because that ball goes to ground. Millington not really under pressure.
I think he's just come back onto the pitch, Grant Millington. been sat on the sideline, comes on for an easy carry off the ruck, just has a little glance up. Who's in front of him in Cuthbertson and Jamie Peacock. And you know sometimes that you make mistakes when you first touch the ball, when you've been sat on the bench. And you've been sent on by the coach because you're cold, you're not into the speed of the game, you feel that you need to touch the ball.
Maguire to Ryan Hall, a trio of Tigers there to make the tackle on him. Hall sin-binned early in this game. Leeds, though, withstanding that setback. And they've built a 16-6 advantage here. Still waiting for the first points of this second half. We've had the opportunities. No doubt about that.
I tell you, we haven't seen so far. Rob Burrow, who changed the game last week against Catalan.
No sign of Rob Burrow yet. Watkins gets the pass away. Here is Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson again, offload away. Church. Maguire puts the brakes on. Wonderful footwork in these conditions. Delaney, the ball's gone backwards. They've lost momentum. Robbie Burrow just warming up. Here is Cuthbertson again. Once more, just short of the try line. Paul Ayton. Maguire sells the dummy. He's just short. That'll be the turnover.
He loses the ball, tries to stretch out and fool the Castleford players. He looks to pump it, he looks to pass that ball, dives over the line, but unfortunately his right arm loses control. It's a good game, isn't it?
It's a great game. Danny Maguire on 247 career tries, approaching a landmark, and having a great season so far.
Tell you what Danny Maguire's got, Tez. He's got come focus. That's what he's got.
Well, you have to stay focused in this one because Leeds aren't home and dry yet, and the Castleford Tigers aren't out of it. But they'll be ruining a great opportunity they had in this second half. Hanley once more. Carney arriving to make the tackle.
Well, there's still 25 minutes to go in this game and just 10 points behind. You still fancy Castleford, that they'll believe in themselves. They believe that they can beat Leeds Rhinos.
But they won't cave in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The crowd and the fans, they won't let them. But there's plenty of effort on shore. They just need that final touch.
That's a great run.
He hit that one at pace, didn't he, Jamie Peacock?
You spot the gap behind the play of the ball, that's where you go.
Singleton trying to offload, he does. Goes off Ayton. Referee says we'll take the first knock on, and it was from a Leeds player, and it'll be head and feed.
Well, Leeds Rhinos, after that run from Jamie Peacock, they target the same defenders. They don't go away from them.
There's a couple of tall players on the Rhinos. Cuthbertson,
Look at
here's
this
the
here.
break. Fantastic line. Another one of those tall players who tend to offload the ball over the top of defenders. It's Singleton who does it. Grant Millington's done his homework in the week. He was expecting it and forced the error. Good work, Cass.
Jamie Peacock is looking for his 80th career try. He'll be hoping it doesn't have to come from that distance. There's James Clare.
Do you know he's won everything in the game, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
8 grand finals, Leeds by example, still at the ripe old age of 37. Involved in every tackle, every play. I don't even think he's been substituted yet.
Once more in the tackle, but you look at the opposite side and Andy Lynch, Darryl Powell saying he deserves to be held in the same sort of esteem as Jamie Peacock.
Quite rightly, very consistent, very dependable, reliable, but spectacular when he needs to be, as we saw from that break.
Trapping in, go!
On the last, and Finn just dinks a kick cross field, but Hall with some good cover claims that ball. Tackle just short of his own try line. Castleford will try and force an error now.
And they're them attacking kicks that I was talking about. When they do make more metres up the pitch, it gives the onside chasers more of a chance to challenge for that ball. And also, this is where you want to defend. Get as tight as you can, get off the line, stay disciplined, as Ash Hanley brings the ball in now.
It is a tough phase, a tough period for these players. I mean, Leeds have got a home game against Wakefield, and Wakefield, having been hammered by the Catalan Dragons on Thursday night, will be out to atone for that. And of course they've got a big contingent of ex-Leeds players. Meanwhile, we'll see the Castleford Tigers going to a Warrington side who'll be feeling very sore after losing against Widnes. That's 3 defeats in a row for the Wolves, so they've got things to put right when they take on the Tigers on Easter Monday, 2:40. Sky Sports 1 for that one, so no rest, no respite. And later on in the day, we'll see the Catalan Dragons taking on the Widnes Vikings. We'll be on air for that on Sky Sports 2, 4:55 on Easter Monday.
Adam over 10. Go.
Here is Millington.
Okay.
Gale. Ball over the top to Gibson, and Hall came for him.
Do you know, it was a shame, Bill. Luke Dawn was in a little bit of space. I'd like to see Luke Dawn with the ball in his hands a little bit more. He's the one with the spark. Obviously, he can score tries, he can create opportunities, get involved, Luke Dawn.
Gale puts the kick up. Hardacre under pressure. And it'll be a goal line dropout. The referee, Ben Thaler had initially pointed to under the posts, but then has decided to ask for a second opinion on this one.
Well, then Clerk, Zach Hardacre go for the ball, comes off Zach Hardacre first, and then does it come off James Clerk?
I think it came off James Clare's hip.
Well, Zach Hardacre definitely comes off his chest, it goes between his arms, and then does it roll down onto James Clerk's hips? Yes, it does.
Call going Leeds Rhinos' way. They'll be glad of that, because the Tigers have had a good spell of possession, but haven't been able to turn it into any points. Still 16 points to 6.
There's 20 minutes left on the clock yet, Bill. Plenty of time. Stay in this tussle, stay in this grind, stick with the Rhinos.
Cuthbertson, but another Leeds try, and it becomes a pretty tall order for this Castleford Tigers side. Energy sapping conditions.
Okay.
Stevie Ward. Ward tackled about 30 metres out. Here is Maguire. Maguire, short pass to Delaney. Ooh, Cuthbertson was looking for an offload there. Maguire stabs the kick in. Well dealt with by Clare, but he can't escape the clutches of the Leeds defenders. That will be a goal line dropout.
He's had a heavy workload today, James Clare. He couldn't go up. He couldn't anticipate the pass because he needed to be in the right spot for the kick. It's a wonderful kick from Danny Maguire. And they've been good in that part of the pitch. Castleford have been very good. They've been switched on. And only a couple of moments where they've let themselves down, and they need to be on complete focus and control here now.
Luke Dawn with the goal line dropout. Dawn fully recovered from that nasty gash he had in his lip after the last round of Super League. Not one for the squeamish pictures of that.
Wait, go.
The goal line dropout. And Leeds coming forwards, backwards in the shape of Jamie Peacock.
Just keeps pumping his legs forward.
Maguire again. They're coming down the Rhinos' left. It's Hall, but the Tigers defenders do enough to stop Ryan Hall. But Leeds looking for a try that might take some of the wind out of the Tigers' tank, so to speak. They're over the line again.
Held up again.
Singleton it is.
Well, Milner again. They've got enough players in motion, Leeds Rhinos, to cause problems, but they're just getting the bodies in front. Luke Dawn, Adam Milner, and it's Scott Wheeldon over the top.
So the ball will be with the Leeds Rhinos. The referee Ben Thaler telling them to get back to the 10, and Singleton doing that in a fairly leisurely fashion. The clock still with 20 minutes, and they're held up. Shake it ahead from Danny Maguire.
Well, they lost the tackle count then. That's why he's shaking his head, Danny Maguire. Adam Cuthbertson choosing to run that ball. He was trying to offload the ball. That's great defence.
And Millington stays in the field of play just. It's turning into a real grind, this is now in the mud.
Well, this one's a horrible carry. The next one's a horrible carry. You don't want to be making the mistakes. Nathan Massey just trying to play for the penalty. as Oliver Holmes, the unsung hero for Castleford. He's the heartbeat to this side with his work rate.
Ready, lads, ready. Go.
Now they're going down the left-hand side. Lovely footwork from Shenton, and eventually he's tackled by Callum Watkins. Gale was looking to throw a long pass over the top, or suggested he was going to. That's the 5th tackle.
Go.
And it's with Finn. Finn. Little dink into a bit of no man's land there, but Handley comes again, and there was offside against Gibson. As Scott Morey was picked out.
It's Ash Hanley who takes that ball. He's done it all afternoon. Keeps his eyes on the ball. Only has one objective, and Scott Moore
Right, just be careful. I do it in the first
illegally
half,
takes the young winger out in the process of landing on the floor.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So he's onside, Scott Moore. He comes from behind the kicker. But this is where your timing's got to be correct. You've got to be disciplined in your chase. You've got to wait for Ash Hanley just to hit the ground before you can make contact with him.
We were complimenting Justin Carney in the first half, how he timed his run. Scott Moore got that all wrong.
But Ash Handley is going to come out of this game with his reputation enhanced.
A lot of confidence. He'll take a lot of confidence. He's been up against one of the best wingers in Super League, and he's come out with flying colours.
All he needs now is a try to cap a great afternoon for him personally, but I'm sure he'll be happy if he's just on the winning side for the Rhinos. At the moment they lead by 16 points to 6. Here is Liam Sutcliffe, another of these young Leeds players, growing in stature, growing in importance to the team.
And he's the natural successor, isn't he, to Kevin Sinfield.
Paul Ayton, Jamie Peacock, Maguire over the top to Moon, Moon out wide to Hall, Hall motors in for a second, coasts in for a second, and salutes Danny Maguire as well he might. Ryan Hall, his 2nd of the game, his 4th of the season, and his 21st against the Castleford Tigers in his career. And they made it look so smooth, that the Leeds Rhinos.
Well, the creative skills from Danny Maguire. You've got to be confident to throw a ball like this across the face of Castleford defenders, and he's had a big influence on this game, and Ryan Hall scores the try. He's such a talented player, Ryan Hall. He was picked in a World 13 in 2011, 2012 and 2014. Tremendous athlete. Joel Moon supplies the pass to his wingmate, to his teammate, sorry. And that again, Bill, is just a reminder that is the danger of the Rhinos.
Well, they know all about him from that Wembley meeting last August. Ryan Hall picking up a bit of pace now. Had a quiet start to the season, in actual fact, the Leeds winger. And the cheers as Leeds return to under their posts for Robbie Burrow as he comes on the field. Also saluting Danny Maguire as he goes back to take his place for the restarts. Meanwhile, Liam Sutcliffe. Kick one from wide out in the first half. And this will take a bit more steam out of the Tigers. They put a bit more distance between the two sides, but he's pushed it across the face of the posts. Leeds ahead by 20 points to 6.
Well, this is a well-constructed try from the Rhinos. Ryan Hall going in the corner. But it was the work of Jamie Peacock. Watch what he does to Grant Millington, who's always catching Danny Maguire, always chasing him. I'm sure Johnny Wells will have a good look at that in the post-match analysis. But the setup from Jamie Peacock created the space, and Ryan Hall gets his 4th try of the year.
Oh, almost from the restart.
Well, he has it, Justin Carney, doesn't it? And then unfortunately drops it.
They'll go back to that. And when this second half was still in the balance, that break, Milner could have been in there.
Yep, the break from Justin Carney, the break from Andy Lynch as well.
10 metres, come on! Oh, there, pal.
So they've managed to get through this Leeds defensive line. Unfortunately, they've just not managed to cross the try line.
Well, we talked about the rebuilding process that Darryl Powell has got in his hands. They lost Craig Hubie. Everybody talks about Darryl Powell, but it's Hubie as well. The combined loss of those two players. It's a big job to replace that work rate, that threat that Darryl Clark poses when he's got the ball.
Carney claims that one well, and then stumbles for a few yards before they bring him down, but they've got to be pretty bushed after this, and Carney looks weary.
I think he's got cramp, the big winger. It takes it out of you, these heavy pitches.
And I wonder whether Darryl Powell and Ryan Sheridan, Danny All might look at this and think, do you know what, lads, this has gone, let's look towards Monday. Might take a couple of key players off and rest them up. That might be one of them. Hasn't been his day, Justin Carney. Always involved, always full of effort. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
The kick over the top, or Finnish chasing it. He's picked up by Hardacre. Hardacre still going, and eventually tackled by Matt Cook. Matt Crowther just leaving the fields.
And that's what you've got to admire about Castleford. Even though that they're behind on the scoreboard, they're still trying things. They still believe that they can break this Rhinos side down, whether it be from a kick like that or maybe a couple of breaks. But they won't give up. The team spirit that they've got was exceptional last year, and it is this year.
Matt Crowther, the Castleford physio now, having worked his way into that position, just looking after Justin Carney. Carney able to continue, but Moon takes the pass. Fifth tackle. Burrow is on there. Tiring players, and this little scampering man coming at you, or this big rumbling man coming at you and poking the ball down over the line. Adam Cuthbertson. He's been denied once. He won't be denied again. The rain coming down here at the Mendon Hose Jungle. Adam Cuthbertson, all smiles, as he claims another Rhinos try. And now they're in control of this game. Brian McDermott coming down to the stands, from the stands. Adam Cuthbertson claiming his 4th try of the season.
He deserves that, Adam Cuthbertson. Done all the hard work as well. It's Rob Burrow coming out. He commits the marker, commits Scott Moore. There's still a lot of work for the big fella to do, but he just keeps rolling and keeps that ball, probably learning from the lesson he learned with Luke Dawn. Gives him a good handoff, keeps the ball free, and all he has to do is put the ball down. And that's what Rob Burrow gives you. Ash Gibson in all kinds of trouble, can't commit, backs off, and that's what Rob Burrow needs. And who's to say Adam Cuthbertson, who has a father born and bred in Warrington, won't be wearing an England shirt at the end of the year. He certainly is in fantastic form this season.
I tell you what, heavy conditions, but we have seen some fantastic footwork from some big men as Sutcliffe thumps that ball. I mean, we've seen Lynch with the footwork, Peacock with the footwork, and Cuthbertson with the footwork there.
Well, 2 pirouettes from Adam Cuthbertson.
There's nobody there
to score that try. Do you know, you just love the effort that he puts in. He turns up, he always puts his hand up to take the ball forward. The Leeds players play off the back of him. He's come up with the 2nd most carries in Super League. He wants to play, he wants to get involved, and this was a good finish. He doesn't panic, he doesn't try and offload the ball, and because of that, well, he scores a try. As Castleford have the ball now, they know they're running out of time, just 12 minutes to go. Oh, there he is with a shot as well.
Massey. 12 minutes to go, the Castleford Tigers salvage operation now. Only the 1 try from them, there could be 2. They are in, and it's Carney hobbling over the try line, or is it? Referee has gone to the video ref for a second decision on this. Ben Thaler reckons he's got a try,
well, this would be
but there's a hint of an obstruction.
This would be a desperate shame. Justin Carney's had a mixed afternoon. Made that break, of course. A good switch play. Darryl Powell, renowned for his set pieces, his set plays. I can't see anything. I think
Danny Maguire and Shenton.
Danny Maguire is obstructed. He can't make himself invisible, of course,
what Shenton needs to do is continue his run through the line. I mean, that's what they're going to be having a look at, and I think he just stops his run, which stops Danny Maguire getting to the man. So
that about sums up the second half of the Castleford Tigers, doesn't it? Because they've had the opportunities, but just the timing, the position, just not been right.
Yeah, well, Michael Shenton, as soon as he goes through and he knows he's not going to receive the ball, he can't just stop and plant his feet. He's got to continue going forward.
It's the second opportunity they've had.
They're just little things, Bill. They're little things in the game, and that's all it takes.
And I can remember that first game when they played Catalan away. We covered it, of course. Darryl Powell was talking about the little things and how they just wasn't quite there. It's round 8 now, and they've got a few rounds to fix it up. And it's an ongoing process for Darryl Powell and his coaching staff, I imagine.
The Tigers had been on a great run of home games. This the third consecutive home game, their fifth actually in the opening 8 rounds for the Castleford Tigers, and they had until today been making the most of those. Away form not great. They've lost all 3 on the road so far in 2015. And Burrow with the kick. Oh, that's an awkward one for Dawn to take, but he took it well despite the pressure. Claimed it in goal.
He's been good, Luke Dawn, hasn't he? He's saved a couple of tries. He's looking to speed it up here. Here goes Justin Carney.
They have speeded it up, and Carney gets the pass away to Shenton. And Shenton heading for the sidelines. And Leeds salute their wingmen.
Well, I've been asking for Luke Dawn to get involved because that's what he's capable of. His speed of thought, speed of action. He tapped that ball and he was straight on the assertive. And Justin Carney playing as centre to release his centre on the wing. Great focus from Leeds to get him off the island, though. You've got to say that.
What I like about this tackle is that they're not content with just going to ground and taking the tackle. What they do, they talk, they communicate. Zach Ardeke and Sutcliffe, they keep the man up, Shenton, and they push him over the sideline.
Go, please. Stay on.
So head and feed to the Leeds Rhinos, who will have, ahead of this Wigan Saints game coming up, have a 4-point cushion over the Saints. There you go. Next here on Sky Sports 1. Leeds with a 26 points to 6 lead into the last 10 minutes of the game. And young Andy Yates, well, not so young Andy Yates, 25 years of age, been around for a while, former Saints Academy player. There he is playing the ball. Burrow, Maguire. Here's Joel Moon. Always socks round his ankle, sort of languid style of play, and Burrow just drills the kick down the sidelines, keep the Tigers down in that end of the ground. Maguire it was with the kick.
They just let the clock tick down. Call it game management.
Well, Danny Maguire's been good, hasn't he? Had control of every facet of this game. When he's needed to up the intensity, he's needed to speed up the game, he has. When he's needed to slow it down, he has. Very accomplished performance from the standing captain.
And sometimes that's what happens when the likes of Kevin Sinfield or an influential player is missing out the side. Someone else steps up, someone else has to do all those little things. He's been bossing his teammates around, his kicking game has been top draw.
Keep coming, Callum.
Leeds 2 points clear ahead of Wigan Saints, of course, after this one. Meanwhile, Castleford will go home with now 1 win from the last 7 at home against the Leeds Rhinos, and happy hunting ground here for the Rhinos against the Tigers.
Play on, still 3.
Massey now. Frustrating this for Castleford. They'll look back on what might have been at times in this game, but some great defensive work from Leeds. At times they've been under pressure, but good defence has kept the Tigers at bay. Gale kicks into the middle of the field. Dawn is chasing that for all he's worth. And a hack of the boot from Maguire, I think it was. Well, not the most elegant way to deal with that.
Do you know, it'd be easy to look at the scoreboard, look at the negatives on this game. But I like these little things. Luke Dawn pushing up really hard, Liam Finn pushing up really hard, giving themselves a chance, giving themselves and putting the opposition under pressure. But if they focus on the positives will be they brought Leeds. They brought Leeds' defensive line. Not many teams do that. The negative from that would they've not posted the points.
Goal line dropout. Well, Castleford had won 3 of the last 4 going into this. Had gone up as far as 7th in the table. Slipped backwards as a result of this particular round after this result. But it's that sort of season. A lot of toing and froing as the sides look for a top 8 place before the season cut-off. Massey, they don't want to be in that bottom 4. And the Tigers, who finished 4th last season, fantastic 2014 season. But after all the upheaval, as Millington goes on a run, gets the pass away to Gibson, and Gibson is brought down by Hall. Ryan Hall sin-binned early in this game, but Leeds survived that to go on and take the points. The pass out wide to Shenton. Shenton doing well to get away, and then that ball is batted down. Watkins with the tackle. And the referee, what's he going to give here?
What would you say on a dry pitch? Some of these opportunities would have stuck.
It's hard to say, isn't it, Taser? I don't think we can blame the conditions. Both sets of players have committed themselves fully to the game. I think Grant Millington's had an outstanding performance today. There's some communication. A bit of debate over whose ball it was. It's been given to Leeds. It could have gone either way, in my opinion. Could have been a loose carry, or it could have been a knock-on from Callum Watkins. But Darryl Powell, I'm sure he'll look at those little flashes and he'll say, we need to string those out. We need to get 80 minutes of that. They did it a couple of weeks ago when they played against Wigan, and they blew Wigan off the pitch. And it was all about speed, precision, capitalising on those chances, putting themselves in a spot to score.
Here's Brett Delaney.
Move, Nathan! Wait here, boys. Wait a minute. Mills, wait. Go.
Paul Ayton.
3, movement, Scott!
Scott Moore with the tackle for the Castleford Tigers. Yates. Former St Helens Academy player Andy Yates has spent his time in the Championship. Getting a crack in Super League. Burrow drills the kick downfield. Turning Luke Dawn around. The Rhinos fans applauding a good deep kick. And then a good chase from their team.
And again, that could be the difference in this game. Some of the Castleford players looking weary now.
But Shenton is away on that left-hand side. He's got Carney on the inside. Gets the ball to Carney, and Carney pass back to Shenton, and Shenton will get his 2nd try of the game. And Ben Thaler, no hesitation this time. But cold comfort for the Castleford Tigers. Little consolation for Michael Shenton. His 4th try of the season. His 2nd of this game. But if only that had come earlier for the Castleford Tigers.
Well, these are the capabilities of these Castleford players. A wonderful pass inside from Justin Carney, who stays in the frame, touches it twice, and it's a nice 1-2-1-2 with the central wing. A great pass. Finds the space, Shenton, shows composure, precise passes. You know, Phil Clark talks about it a lot. Getting passes on the button whilst you're running at pace is a really difficult skill, executed well by Cass.
Gale adds 2 more points. And the Castleford Tigers can take some consolation from that. The Tigers 12, the Rhinos 26.
Well, although Castleford have been defeated in this game, they'll go to Warrington with a lot of confidence on Monday, who themselves were defeated last night by Widnes. But that's a little reminder of what this Cass side can do. The classic Cass that we saw in 2014. But Brian McDermott will know it's a professional performance from his team, the Leeds Rhinos. When they've had to roll the sleeves up, they've done the hard work. When they've looked to play, and they've looked to play with skill and speed, they've done that.
12 points to 26, the scoreline here. Just a couple of minutes to go.
Tony. Yeah. Well done, boys.
And the Castleford Tigers have to regroup and head for Cheshire to face the Warrington Wolves. Leeds Rhinos dust themselves down and face the Wakefield Wildcats on Monday.
And you get people and you get fans talking about, is there too many games around Easter period? I think it's a great opportunity, especially when you've been beaten. You want to get back on the pitch and play as quick as you can. You want that turnaround because you want to make up and you want to make amends. Not just to yourself, but to your fans as well.
And you want that reputation amongst the players of being durable, mentally and physically tough enough to keep stepping up to the mark. It's like Christmas, it's coming every year. You can't do anything about it. Embrace it and prove yourself as a warrior.
Oh, that ball somehow. Well, in the end, it's a penalty. Somebody was held back there as Castleford looked for further consolation here.
But again, that never said their attitude, eh?
Correct.
Matt Cook sizing up the opportunities as Milner plays the ball. Little push and shove between Milner and Maguire in back play. You've got to say that this contest has been played in fantastic spirit. This is a local derby in front of a packed house. Really full-on contest, and the sportsmanship has been superb. Gibson, well, that's a fortuitous try or not. Well done, Zach Hardacre, as he slid across.
Well, it's turned into a game of football. I think Leeds United might be looking at a few of these players here.
It's better than Leeds United.
There we go. The ball's on the floor. Ash Gibson slots it into the corner, side-footed.
It's just been tough, hasn't it? Both sets have been absolutely committed. James Clerk going for that. Although Zach Hardacre's feet were going to be going in the vicinity of near where his face is, he doesn't pull away from it.
Danny Maguire, a big Leeds United fan, of course, in the Rhinos' ranks. Zach Hardacre with the goal line dropout. So at times the Leeds defence has been under pressure.
Yes, they have. So we've been talking, we've been waxing lyrical in this second half in particular, but the amount of times that Castleford have managed to break the Leeds line but not actually score the tries.
Into the last minutes. Leeds will go home with the spoils. The 11,000 crowd will go home, having witnessed a great Super League derby match on Good Friday here at the Menderhose Jungle, which ends with Leeds jubilant. They've done it again against the Tigers. Darryl Powell back to the drawing board for him and Danny Orr. Regroup ahead of the game against the Warrington Wolves that you can see on Sky Sports. What a contest it's been. Great sportsmanship between these two sides. Leeds eventually not comfortable winners. You could never say they were comfortable winners of this one. There were times when they were under pressure, times when maybe if things had gone for the Castleford Tigers, it might have been a different story. Certainly when the game was in the balance at the start of this second half, when the Tigers had that break and there was the possibility of a try for Adam Milner. But that's gone.